Let's talk in today's video about the 3 most common mistakes I see when people are designing their ideal customer profile or ICP. The first one is working with assumptions. And yes, don't get me wrong, we have to work with assumptions, especially in the beginning, right? When a founder has identified a problem or a perceived problem to a certain target group, then this is an assumption. The mistake that I see making is that people don't test that assumption and that they don't validate that assumption. For example, Lego a couple of years ago was almost broke, and they were thinking how they can increase their turnover. And only later they realized that adult Lego players, so the adults playing with the building blocks, that they were directly responsible for 10% of their turnover and indirectly for much more. Once they have identified this, they could design solutions for them. They could design communication means for them and with them, and they could help them in influencing their environment even more. So they are the adult gamers, or the ones that buy the high-end boxes of 200, 250 euro and US dollars and more. A second thing that I see happening is that people work with averages. And yes, I understand we have to work with average in a certain way to build a population, to build that ideal customer profile. However, pay attention how you do it. I remember when I saw a description of a typical IT manager who is a man of 35 to 40 years old with on average 2.17 kids. To be honest, those people, they don't exist. I have never seen somebody with 2.17 kids. I have never seen somebody from between 35 and 40 years old. Try to find people with common features rather than to find artificial demographics. When you do that exercise, however, and so when you narrow down, when you focus, the chance is very big that you will find multiple profiles that you can narrow down more than probably to your use cases. So several different ideal customer profiles will be targeted by different use cases. I'm talking about a company like ServiceNow. They have ticketing systems. I'm going to call it ticketing systems for IT. However, they also have brilliant solutions for HR and many other departments. So these are all different use cases, and one size does not fit all in that sense. There is not one ideal customer profile. So pay attention to this. And then the third mistake that I often see is that there is confusion between who is the user and who is the customer. So if you design a solution, for example, for SDRs, that they find faster their leads, that they can close faster maybe, or move from to the sales department, and they think it's a brilliant solution. However, they are not the customer. They don't pay. What you can do in that case is that you create a champion from that user group and try to influence your customers in buying your solution. For example, a couple of years ago, I was working as a consultant for a company that sold secure messaging between hospitals and GPs and medical labs. And the customers were the hospitals, while the core users were the GPs. Also, in setting your organization, it has a huge impact because it's the core users that call to your support department and not the customers. So the company had staff, technical people, engineers in their customer support department. And if they would communicate with the hospitals, that would be great. It would be technical support talking with the technical department. However, the GPs were non-technical people, and if you have engineers talking to GPs, to doctors, then there was often quite some confusion. So be mindful of this, that you adjust your organization, adjust your approach, and adjust your communication into who exactly is my ideal customer profile. So those were the 3 most common mistakes that I see. Let me know which ones were useful for you. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe.